A man named William Cooper did excellent work in exposing Alex Jones for the lying fearmongerer he truly is. Shortly after Y2K, Cooper did a broadcast on how Alex Jones tried to scare the living shit out of his audience on December 31st, 1999. It's absolutely sickening the way Alex lied and placed fear into the minds of his mentally ill audience. In fact, the excitement in Alex Jones' voice is quite disturbing. There's little doubt Alex Jones is actually hoping what he's saying is true. Alex Jones wants chaos, he wants death, he wants destruction. Here is 4 minutes of Alex Jones fear-mongering at his finest on his Y2K broadcast.
Countries, they're finding large amounts of explosives in France. Vladimir Putin, who is known as Vladimir the Ruthless, and using all his profanity on national TV, you name it. We won't read the profanity here, but we've got it. This person is on an unbelievable power trip and resembles a demon. And this information is vital, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeing the New World Order really come out in full force. More wars than have been in the last 50 years are going on right now. The war in Chechnya is raging in Grozny with, well, reports of hundreds to thousands dying. 20 to 40,000 civilians trapped in the city. Russian Hinds are being shot down. Tanks are being blown to bits. Massive Grad unguided rocket attacks are being launched on the city indiscriminately right now. Air and artillery bombardments as well. It's absolutely out of control. It is pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you the news first on Y2K. The newest developments: the Pennsylvania nuclear plant has been shut down. One of the main systems transferring the power from it failed, but they say it's not a Y2K problem. And the things I'm experiencing here in Austin, Texas: the shelves are empty of water and some gas stations are running out of fuel. As the developments move forward with this Y2K and this gear up for clamping down in America and Russia and around the world by globalist forces, we'll be bringing you the news as long as we're here on the air. Now pretty much dictator and controller of Russia publicly, and here in America they're gearing up and bracing for terrorism and militarizing everything in front of us. So it's happening there, it's happening here. There they're using the war with Chechnya. Here they're using Y2K and the threat of terrorism. Oh, this is extremely serious. 2 weeks ago, Topol M, 6,200-mile super range, multiple warhead, newest design, U.S. clone technology missiles were deployed across Russia. They're mobile. These are first strike type systems. They're also designed to survive several strikes from America or any other nation. They're deploying these, and Yeltsin openly has been threatening us weekly to nuke us. I mean, it's just getting insane. And absolutely, this looks like just one more ratchet on the takeover of America. And yes, they have an extreme strongman in KGB leader running Russia right now. They have deployed their missiles against us and their submarines, and have already delivered fully functional missile cruisers to China. That means if missiles are in the air, let's say 4,000 of them. The Russians have got a lot more than that.
Right.
4,000 missiles coming in, subs launching, suitcases going off. We have to wait until we absorb the first strike. That will mean virtual annihilation to our military brass. I know they're threatening to nuke us every single week. I've read the Associated Press, Reuters, Interfax News Agency, London Times articles here. I mean, I read Yeltsin and Jiang Zemin's quotes, the dictator of China, and they're saying, we'll nuke you. I mean, they spell it out. We will hit you with nuclear weapons. We reserve the right to hit you. 3 weeks ago, their head of their missile forces said, we reserve the right to nuke you first. Their currency is plunging. The Egyptian pound is plunging against the dollar, the Japanese yen, the Deutsche mark, and just all of it. And the same thing is starting to develop here in America. Many of the gas stations here in Austin have the little gloves over the pumps saying they're out of fuel. You never see this in Austin, Texas. Right here in South Austin, I've seen several stations. We don't know if this is just a Y2K that was here. Just bizarre behavior. Americans standing up as Russia threatens to attack us with nuclear weapons, as nuclear power plants, at least one, are being shut down, as the military runs around with the police and the FBI saying terrorism is imminent. And some would characterize us as dangerous because we report the facts.
with, buddy? Huh? No, seriously.
I have a job to do. You're going to do my job, then we're going to be in trouble.
Hey,
okay?
really, sir, you shouldn't touch me. You need to identify yourself. You know in the state of New York that's assault, what you just did.
Well, according to Alex Jones, I guess he just committed assault right here. Here we have Alex Jones touching David Gergen. Hypocritical pussy.
Hey, Mr. Gergen, can we talk to you for a second?
Job to do. You're going to do my job, then we're going to be in trouble.
Hey,
okay?
really, sir, you shouldn't touch me. You need to identify yourself. You know in the state of New York that's assault, what you just did.
I'd rather convert these people. But when they start talking about how they want to kill us, and they got big God raised, there's tens of millions of these people. And folks, I'm telling you, they'd operate death camps in a minute. They'd take your baby by their hind legs and bash their brains out on a pillar in a second. They'd love to kill you and your family. You go read all the stuff we've compiled where they talk about it. I mean, they've written hundreds of articles where they talk about how they can't wait to kill us. They want to come in here and take property and take houses and take bank accounts and just waddle around in a bunch of black uniforms like this is the Red Terror in Russia and kill tens of millions of people. That's what they do. And I want you to rise up and get fired up and get angry and just start grinding your teeth and just get mentally ready that if they keep pushing, we're going to take them. And I mean take them savage. I mean run them down. I mean take their heads and just ram them into the concrete. Just heads just bust open. Just crush them. You know what I'm talking about. Just bite big, huge, bloody chunks right out of them. Nothing can stop us.
One thing that's always amazed me about crazy people like Alex Jones is this thought process that what happened at New York City on 9/11 just wasn't enough. In their minds, the New World Order, despite what they did in New York City, just had to shoot a missile at the Pentagon in the broad freaking daylight, or maybe have some sort of flyover, despite the fact no eyewitnesses saw a missile, no eyewitnesses saw a flyover, but this is what America haters like Alex Jones will choose to believe. Alex Jones, people like him will lie and say no plane parts were found, a blatant lie, and now people like Alex Jones, they'll totally ignore the fact DNA of nearly every single passenger was recovered. So here's some audio of Alex Jones and his thoughts of what happened at the Pentagon. Alex Jones is an absolute freaking lunatic.
Whatever we can do for you, any websites, phone numbers, or how people can help you with your story, it's amazing. I believe it. All the facts fit with it, the photographic and other eyewitness reports. I mean, this whole thing just gets stranger and stranger. Classic Black Op to shoot a missile into there and say it was an aircraft and have it fly low and the doomsday aircraft above. But
there is credibility to a missile at the Pentagon, and the evidence really stacks up to that, and then another aircraft painted up like 77 flying over.
But let me say, if it truly was an inside job and you're exposing this, the United States government would have you killed and make it look like an accident.
they have killed a lot of us, and you know what?
But they let you live. Now, that makes a lot of sense. They could kill you and make it look like an accident.
Yeah, if they killed me, it would turn me into a Malcolm X or a Martin Luther King, you twit.
No, it wouldn't.
And I'm so sick of people.
They can make it look like an accident.
You know how many patriots have been killed? You know how many patriots have been killed? And I'm sick of people like you making jokes about it. Troy in West Virginia, you're on the air. Welcome.
With the elections tomorrow, I was wondering if you still think that the United States of America is going to attack itself.
Well, I have been on record saying that I believe that by late October into early November there would be a terror attack if we didn't get the word out. And that's my prediction, and Fox News covered my prediction. It was the 9/11 Truth went absolutely ape, talking about false flag. I wasn't the only one. And I think that with 84% in a major poll not believing the official 9/11 story, that we may have backed them off for this period of time in staging an attack. Let me just ask you a question. You called in and you said, for stations that just joined us, you said, do you believe that the government's still going to attack itself? And you said, with your prediction. And my prediction clearly was, if we didn't get the word out about government-sponsored terror,